Turn the mic on. Truth in the building. No filters. No politics. No apologies. Dr. Ken, let's go. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fade. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Came from the bottom when survival was a law. Learn real quick what respect really costs. Everybody got opinions from afar, but they ain't never had to carry those scars. Built from pressure, discipline, pain. Some lose focus, some lose aim. Some sell souls just to chase that fame. I build my brick by brick, no shame. See the world get weak when it need a moment. Too many followers pretending they friends. Too many loudmouths scared to defend any real conviction when the pressure set in. But I stand on business, stand on code, stand on truth when the lies explode. Some fold up when the road gets cold. Some become legends when the story gets told. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground breaks. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken is on.
Truth don't sleep.
Frank. Candid.
Straight to the point.
If nobody else gon' say it, I will. Yeah. Mic check, truth coming live again. Built for the storm, I don't hide from wind. Everybody tough when the lights are bright. Different story when it's dark outside at 10. I done seen pride make kings collapse. Seen weak minds get trapped in traps. Seen good people never fight back. Seen fake leaders disappear too fast. So I speak for the workers, speak for the tired, speak for the people still trying to climb higher. Speak for the ones still building through fire, trying to lead this world better than prior. And if the truth hurt, let it hurt a little. Growth don't happen staying safe in the middle. Either build your life or become a riddle. Either move the crowd or get played like fiddle. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Candid.
Straight to the point, to the point.
Good evening and welcome. Good afternoon. Good whenever you listening to this on Spotify. I want to say welcome to Dr. Ken's Truth. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It's great to be here. We're always here Monday. Well, not always, but we're here as much as possible Monday through Thursday at 4 o'clock Central Time. So if you want to hang in, I see everybody jumping in. Lucretia finally made it. Don't start. Oh, get out of here. Well, y'all got the bestie stuff out of the way. So, I'm good now. Lucretia and Kawanda in the study hall. By the way, I want to say welcome to everybody in the study hall. They are besties. So every time they jump in, it's like nobody else is there. They just go on this diatribe, right? I'm kind of trashing what y'all saying. But anyway, I want to say welcome. Of course, if you want to support the show, you can always go to drkenswag.printify.me. See what's on there. If you like something, buy something that supports the show and keeps us sponsor-free and ad-free. So, of course, build up the audience. And, of course, if we get there, then YouTube will start to, throw ads in your feed. So, I guess that's a good thing. So, I want to say welcome. It's nice. It's quiet. And I want to say, what's up, Kwanda? And she say hello to the study hall. Todd said, hey, Dr. Ken, I thought about what you said. Take 5 friends and can figure out who someone is, that is the truth. I am all five wrapped up in one plus my father. Not quite what I meant, Todd, but I get what you're saying. Ronnie Ray Real, you make it to you make it out of Kansas and make it back to the Midwest. Where you at now? Where you at? Quanda says, so with that being said, Todd and Bestie and Lucretia, blah, 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 blah. I see Sir Chance, what's going on? Hey, L. Dawson, what's up? How's everybody doing? Willie is up in here. SC, where you been? I ain't seen you since last week. Were you here yesterday? I don't remember. Yeah, and I am glad that Quanda and Lucretia got all that Bestie stuff out early. Hey, what's up, Kathleen? How's it going? How are things in Milwaukee? Everybody saying hello to everybody. So, hey, Bestie, hey this, hey that. I guess I got to put up with it. We're live on YouTube. Today we're on Instagram and LinkedIn, so we're just hanging out. And I wanted to talk about some quick things. I'm not going to keep you long today. I always say that. When I say I'm not going to do that, I end up running long. And when I say I'm going to try to make it, so, that's just how it goes. It is what it is. We've been talking the last few days, and I'm kind of on this mindset of friendship. How do you pick your friends? How do you know people? And the other day we talked about look at your 5 closest friends, and you can pretty much tell who a person is. You can pretty much determine who that person is. And so how do you know when somebody's your friend and when they're simply close enough to gather information? One of life's hardest lessons is realizing that not everybody who smiles at you is smiling with you. Some people applaud your success in public and then trash you in private. They hope you fail. They congratulate you on one hand while measuring how high you've climbed with the other. The ancient proverb says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. And that's the kind of wisdom we need today in this world. A real friend, and I hate to say real friend because you're either a friend or you're not. So let me drop the word real. Will tell you when you're wrong, challenge your thinking. They'll also protect they're supposed to protect your reputation, even when you're not in the room. They don't compete with you. They pretty much complete you. They fill in those holes and gaps that you don't have. They don't celebrate your mistakes. They help you recover from them. But deceptive people, notice I didn't call them friends, even though people will say deceptive friends. There's no such thing. You can't be deceptive and a friend. They ask questions not because they care, but because they're collecting intelligence to use against you. They listen for weaknesses instead of opportunities to help you. They disguise envy as concern. They volunteer to be with you, hang out with you, and be your bestie, but their loyalty literally belongs somewhere else. Now, sometimes they're the first ones to hear your dreams because you make that mistake. You think, hey, that's a friend. I'm going to tell them what I'm thinking. They're the first to tell somebody else, they ain't going to never do that. They want to do such and such. They don't want to do that. Here's what makes deception dangerous. Enemies stand on the outside, but a friend who is deceptive is on the inside. Julius Caesar, Jesus. Betrayal is almost always comes from someone who's familiar with you. Now that doesn't mean, right, because I'm contradictory and contrarian. Not everybody. Doesn't mean we have to become cynical. It doesn't mean we stop trusting people. It means we become wiser about who has access to our life, our information. Everybody doesn't deserve unrestricted access to your vision. Everybody doesn't deserve to know your next move, a front row to your future. Some people, have a reason and a season. And sometimes it may not be a lifetime. Pay attention to patterns. So watch this. Who only calls you when they need something? Who celebrates your victory, but it's only on their condition? Who disappears when you struggle, and then when you're making it, they reappear? Who repeats conversations to other people that should have been confidential? Who always has a reason why your idea won't work, but then never gives you a solution? Character will always reveal itself over time. The older I get, the less impressed I am by words. Yeah, they're nice. They make you feel good. Yeah, that's great. You get your endorphins up. Everything's wonderful. But I'm looking for consistency. When I look at the YouTube chat, I see people that I can consider my friend. I may not know them personally, but they're consistent every single day. They complain when I'm not there. They complain when I'm there, but they're consistent. I believe it's integrity. I'm watching what people do when they have nothing to gain. Nobody in the YouTube chat has anything to gain. I'm not giving anybody anything for free but words, and they're there. The best friendships are built, I believe, on 3 foundations: trust, faith, and to an extent, reciprocity. Because sometimes friends can't give you what you need, but they're still a friend. Trust means I know you're protecting me when I'm not there. You're speaking for me when I'm not at the table. Truth means you tell me what I actually need to hear, not just what I want to hear. Now let's go down the road of reciprocity. Reciprocity means the relationship isn't one-sided. And that's what I mean by reciprocity. We're both invested in each other. We both sacrifice for each other, and we celebrate each other. Now, understand this. Sometimes God moves people from your life because he knows what they're capable of before you do. And sometimes we cry and we get upset and we get mad. And what feels like rejection today might just actually be protection for tomorrow. So don't mourn every relationship that ends. Some endings are actual promotions. Some closed doors, security system. Protect your peace, protect your purpose, protect your future. And it's better to have a few loyal friends than a crowd of deceptive acquaintances. I could have 1 million viewers, I could have 1,000 viewers, but are they my friends? Are they my friends? Let me leave you with this. Loyalty is proven behind your back, not in your face. A friend's character, if they're really your friend, only has to be stronger than one thing. You know what that is? Compliments. Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and today we're going live on Instagram. So I want to tell a couple stories. I want to tell a couple stories about taking advantage of people. And if you've never been taken advantage of, sometimes it can be life-changing, life-altering, downright. Some people are just downright evil. And I work at not being deceptive and not lying to people and not allowing those things to drift, because it's important, I believe, that you don't take care of people. I got to stop saying I believe. If I'm talking, then I believe it. So when I was younger, I think 18, 19, 20-ish, I was in an organization. I can say it. I was an Explorer Scout sponsored by the Chicago Police Department. And we had a party. We rented out one of the YWCAs. We rented a room. We got a party, invited the public, made some money. It was nice. It was great. And the DJ we hired had a set amount. I don't remember what it was. Might have been $200. Just pick a random number. $200. So he said, well, meet me at the currency exchange and we'll exchange. I don't know if you know what a currency exchange or a cash place, or that's what they call them in Chicago. You can go buy stuff. You can go get a money order and all that stuff, pay some absorbent rate, some absorbent interest and all that. Fees were ridiculous, right? And so when we go in, I give it to him and he says, well, I got to pay the fee. So can you pay the fee so I can get my money? Otherwise, I'm not going to get my full $200. Now, what I know now and what I knew then is that's the cost of doing business. So if you don't put it in your bank or take it somewhere and cash it and do whatever you do, that's on you. But you said 200, it's 200. However, being young and stupid, I paid the fee. And so later when I went back, the guy that was our advisor, our mentor, who was I think at the time, Chicago police sergeant, might have even been a lieutenant, said, yeah, you weren't supposed to do that. Anything that person has to pay for their business, you don't pay. Let them pay. And I felt stupid. I felt used. I felt deceived. And I was. And I had to ask myself, was there something about me that made me gullible? Or did this person just try it on a whim and do it? Either way, that person was deceitful. And I remembered that a long time. And I tried to never let anybody take advantage of me. It almost happened once. And I changed it because I look at that interaction as stupid tax. Like I had to learn a lesson. And I did. Years later, I'm working in radio and TV. I'm doing a lot of freelance stuff. I'm traveling all over the country. Life is good. And a local friend of mine, who's an actual friend, said, hey, I own this business and I need a commercial made. And I said, yeah, I can do that. And I worked up a budget. Everything was set. We worked it out. And this other friend that I worked with doing freelance had a production company. So I said, I'm going to hire you to do the production. I'll direct it. I'll write it. I'll do everything. I'll script it. I'm going to be the producer. I'm going to hire you. I'm going to direct it. I'm going to produce it. You need to just bring camera, lights, crew, and handle it. He said, fine. Signed the contract. Everything was golden. We do it. After we do it and I get paid, which was a good sum of money because we're talking about a commercial production in Chicago at the time. And it was running on local TV. So it paid pretty well. He said, oh, yeah, this is great because now, after it's hired, because we did it, we can split the profit. And I said, why would we do that? He goes, what do you mean? I said, I hired you. You didn't hire me. This isn't a partnership. I hired you. That means that because I hired you, you work for me. I'm not splitting profit with someone I hired. That's not how this works. And, I thought about that a long time. And this was a person that I'd known since I was in college. And I know him to this day. And he's a decent guy. But in those instances, when it comes to business and money, I learned what I don't want to call it weakness. I want to call it where it gets cloudy, where they become deceptive. Only when it comes to money does this person become deceptive. And so I had to think to myself once again, do I have this air of gullibility or are they just thieves? And I can't answer the question as to whether or not they're thieves, but at some point, you know, one wasn't a friend. The other one I considered a friend who then tried to take advantage of me. So your company that you own is getting paid to do the production, so you're getting paid. And then on top of that, you want me to split my profit with you. That just makes no sense. And from that point forward, I never trusted that person. Every time I did work, and they had a great company, and I'd worked with them after that, I made it very clear, I am hiring you. This is the only fee you're getting. And I made it in the contract so that they understood and knew this is it. There's no extra. Well, who's the client? Doesn't matter who the client is. Are you going to work for me or not? And it was a yes or no. And I find that interesting because it's something I've had to use with a lot of friends. Until I learned that they were actual friends, I had to figure out what it was about them that made them always react that way. But I had to check myself first. Was it me? Did I have this, thing on my head that said gullible? You're stupid. Take advantage of him? Or did they take advantage of the friendship or the relationship that we had? I find that interesting. You have any comments about that? Throw them in the YouTube chat. I'm interested in knowing, have you ever been taken advantage of? Has anyone ever taken, or you feel they took advantage of you, and they may not have. They just may not have known. But I think it's important as we move through life, especially if you're younger than me, which is pretty much everybody in the chat. People are simple. If you have an issue with something, then they have an issue too. If you have a thought and it crosses your mind, then it crosses somebody else's mind too. And we have to be careful of that. And I think we have to be careful because we know ourselves better than anyone else. And if we can have a thought like that, everybody can have a thought like that. And I think it's unfortunate, but it's something that we really have to look at. It's something that we really have to process, because it can truly end a relationship. So I'm gonna throw something in the poll, and I want to know what would cause you, and let me type it while I'm talking. What would cause you? I'm going to give you 4 things that I believe can cause you to end a friendship. And we've all got friends. We've all got people that we know, people that we love, people that we respect. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about 3 things that evoke emotion in people. And if you can figure out which one it is, you can handle the situation. I want to know, what would cause you to end a friendship? What causes you to say, you know what, I'm cool with you, but I'm not cool with you anymore? Is it trust? Is it a lack of trust in that person? Is it they're not putting forth the effort of reciprocity? They're not there. Are you working? And it can never be equal. But there needs to be some level of effort to keep the friendship going. Is it just disrespect? They just disrespect you. And I don't know if I can quantify disrespect. Like what is that? Qualified disrespect. Like I don't know what that is. Like, because so many different people find disrespect in different things. And so the only person that can feel disrespect is you. Even when a person doesn't mean to disrespect you, you may find something disrespectful. I think in many of those instances, what you should do is let that person be who they are, but recognize that they may not have been able to, they may not have been trying to disrespect you. It may be you. You may be sensitive. And I'm sensitive in some areas. I get it. Or their values. Maybe you all just don't share the same values. How they treat men, how they treat women, the kind that do all sorts of things. I just wonder. Hey, what's up, Babar? I just wonder. Let me check the YouTube chat and see some of the comments people made. Todd said, "Not you." A leopard doesn't change its spots. Those people get pushed back in the friend arena. I have those people too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Hey, what's up, Jasmine Jazz West? I'm gonna have to call you JJ West or something. Curly Q said, if I'm always the one making the effort and I feel like I'm pulling teeth for you to be my friend, bye. Those are facts. Sometimes you just like having a person in your life. Sometimes you need a person in your life, and it just is what it is. And if you're willing to take them as they are, see, I find issues with people not taking me as I am, people wanting something, right? And that's okay. It's give and take. But you have to, at some point, acknowledge that the person is who they are. And I believe if you, see, there I go again. If you recognize and are really in touch with who you are, and if you're self-aware, you're a lot more lenient and a lot more giving to other people because you recognize that their faults are your faults. That they may have just a different fault, but that doesn't mean they're a bad person. And it doesn't mean they shouldn't be your friend. L. Dawson said, my father always said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them and handle them accordingly. That's true. Now, here's my question to you, L. Dawson. Can a person make a mistake? Can you misread a person? And that's why I've always been a believer in this. People always say what I believe to be the dumbest and the stupidest thing about first impressions. And I think it's ridiculous. First impressions are about you and how you perceive. And they are usually 99.9% wrong. That once you get to know a person, you start to find out good things or bad things. How many times have you met a person who thought they were the greatest person in the world only to find out later they weren't? But they made a really good first impression. How many times have you met a person and said, I really don't like that person. That person is terrible. Oh, they're horrible. And they ended up being your best friend. That goes to show you that your first impression is wrong. I want to make a good first impression. If you have to do that, that means you're presenting yourself in a way that is not true. And that's deceptive. Jasmine Gooden gave me a heart. Thank you. Todd said, like Popeye said, I am what I am and I ain't no more. What happened to growth, Todd? Anyway, SRRR said, loyalty, trust, respect, support, and transparency. But transparency, is it in that order? I don't know. Those are some good ones, sincere, but are they in that order? Do they come in that order? You know, sometimes are people sometimes too transparent? Like, I think this generation is too transparent. I think there's too much information, and one of the reasons people become sensitive, become hurt, are walked over, are taken advantage of is because they give too much of their information. They don't build loyalty and trust and respect and support. They're just transparent. And when you're a keyboard warrior on social media, that kind of makes you more transparent. And then when they turn on you, you get bothered by it. I just don't get bothered by it. Oh, we don't like you. We don't want you. Okay. Sometimes you just have to move on. But do you really move on if it's something that's important to you? I say no. But we also have to respect when people decide that. L doesn't say you have to keep paying attention to words and actions. Let me think about that for a second. You can tell me anything. But you can show me a lot easier than you can tell me. I'm more interested in what you do. Right? For instance, I'm going to call you. And then they don't call you. My brain goes to, did something happen? That's the cop in me, right? Did something happen? Is there an issue? Did I say something that made them not call me? Did I do something that said that? I check me first. When it's not clear, then I check with them. Hey, is everything okay? Well, why? Well, you were supposed to call me. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry. And trust me, with my ADHD, I have it bad. A lot of times people think I don't contact them and I don't call them because I forgot about them or I don't care. And that's not it at all. It's not it at all. But trying to explain that to a person, they take it as an excuse. Oh, it's just an excuse for you not to do something. Okay, that's fine. Which helps me understand, do you really care? And are you willing to work through it? Because if I'm a friend, you would be, okay. But then sometimes people get tired of supporting people. I'm tired of supporting. And that's fine too. But at some point, we have to recognize that we're all weak and we all have problems. But it's only like 5% of who we are. The other 95% is great. Babar said, L. Dawson said, I apologize, misspelling. Look, I didn't even notice it. So good luck with that. Babar said, a true friend. Babar, I would scratch true and just say you're either a friend or you're not a friend. Because you can't have, like what's the opposite? Is there like levels to friendship? You know, I'm a friend, that I'm a true friend, that I'm an exceptional friend. Like, I don't know. But that's me. Anyway, he wrote, a true friend will always be there for you if need be. Even though you probably haven't spoke to them in months or years, people need room to grow. Some folks like to be too clingy. What does that mean? Like, I don't really understand what that means. A clingy friend is just clingy. If you understand why they're clingy, it's okay. If you know why they're acting the way they're acting and you're able to accept it, why isn't that okay? I don't know. Why isn't that okay? That person that hangs around all the time, everybody's needy. You just need something in a different way. Why is your need okay, but somebody else's isn't? I'm just asking. Babar said, I'm like a good neighbor. State Farm is there, but not after 9 p.m. And then Sincere added character. Jasmine Gooden said AD&D has the out of sight, out of mind concept badly. Lord, I'm the person. Yep, I am too. But people take that as being dismissive, as getting a text and not texting back immediately. Has nothing to do with that. You text, I look at it, I say, oh, I go to do that, and then my mind goes, hey, you forgot to do so-and-so. And then I go do it. And then I do that, and then I do this. That's why when I do the show, I show up maybe 10 minutes prior. So I can't get lost in doing other stuff. And then next thing you know, boop, it's 4:00. Now, I learned because of software, I got to start my show at 3:59 because it takes about a minute for it to cycle and then another minute for it to load and then get on the stream, and I'm on at 4:01. Somebody actually complained. Babar actually complained. Well, when you here, you wasn't here. You wasn't here. Yeah, I'm just picking on. You wasn't here, right? Then some people say, you was late. A minute? Really? I can't even load the show? And I appreciate that. It feeds my ego well. Thank you. But Babar said there's levels. I get that. Let me go back. Yes, but being so clingy that when they need you space, that when you need space, they get offended. Can you control that? No. So then why bother? If they get upset, they get upset. If they'll be your friend, they'll be back. If they're your friend, they'll never leave. They're like, okay. I knew a guy who told me a story. He said his brother was his best friend. He literally told me, hey, just so you know, we're not going to be hanging out and we're not going to be friends because my brother's my best friend and I don't need any friends. So what do you think I told him? I told him, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to be your bestie. I don't want to be any of that. I just know you. And I said, hello. That's it. I have no inkling of trying to be your friend, ever. Matter of fact, I don't want any friends. And I never stopped seeing this person or hanging with this person. But, I thought it was a little presumptuous that you think you're so great that somebody wants to be your friend. Oh, I like you. I want to be your best. No, not at all. I think you got it twisted. But some people actually believe that. Some people believe that. Jasmine Gooden said Babar is hilarious. Yep. Todd said ADHD got me today. Forgot about his son's wedding. RSVP. He was cool. Known him since 75. Think it's a friend of yours. Okay. Todd, don't be blaming ADHD if you don't have ADHD. Have you been diagnosed? No, I have. I'm just saying. Sincere said, take your time. LOL. I love the intro, so it bothered me. I don't know if that's what you meant to write, but okay. Yeah. But I'm just saying. I think it's important that when we talk about friends, we take our time to make sure there's some compatibility, that you care. And tomorrow I'm going to dive into 3 things, 3 emotions people elicit, and that if you can track which one it is, your relationship will be that much understandable. Because the cool thing is you get to check yourself first. Why am I can't cause you to react in a certain way. And people tend to blame other people for things that they do, things going on around them. And then they decide that, oh, it's that person's fault. Well, it may not be that person's fault. It may be your fault. Or you're just responding. And so when other people respond a certain way, I'm going to be talking about, it's one of 3 things. And I think if you look at yourself, if you are self-aware, like my shirt. When I was in Dallas, I wore that shirt, black and bougie. And somebody said, why are you wearing that shirt? And my response was, because I'm self-aware. I am who I am. Todd say that's top secret. So you put it in a YouTube chat? Oh, okay. That's what you did. So it's top secret. So you put it in a YouTube chat. Interesting. But yeah, tomorrow, make sure you're here at 4. I'm going to definitely dive into it. So I'm Dr. Ken, and I'm here every Monday through Thursday. I try to do the best I can. At 4:00 Central Time. Of course, you can always support me by going to the swag store at drkenswag.printify.me and check out any swag you might see. If you want to support the show, buy a cup, buy a shirt. I might even throw a cap in there. Yeah, I might do that. I've been so busy that I haven't been able to not update the store, but add new products. And so I think I'm going to take a day and just do that. And I know I've been saying that, just like I've been saying, I'm going to take phone calls, but I'm waiting for my interface to come. I had to order a Bluetooth interface so that y'all could call me, and then, we can take phone calls, and that way we can just go back and forth. So, I'm just saying. Speaking of 4-day weeks, we talked about a long time ago on the radio station about having a 4-day work week. You'd work 10-hour days, because you usually work 10 hours anyway, which would then make your day 12 hours, because you would have to get to work. And I don't know the average time of traveling to and from work. Well, while I'm sitting here, let me find out. What's average time it takes for people to get to work? Survey says 27.2 minutes. So you're talking about a 11-hour day, roughly. So if your day is 4 10-hour days, that would give you about a little under 11 hours. 10-hour day, give you about 11 hours. 27.2 minutes, right? So that'd be 54 minutes, 4 seconds, right? 54.4, 4 times 6, 20 seconds. All right. So, 24 seconds. But anyway, but what about school?
Number 5.
So my top 5 before 5, we always talk about a 4-day work week. But what about school? Well, from Black Enterprise, Georgia, Northwest Georgia School District has a 4-day work week. and educators from across the country are starting to look at it. They said the schedule has improved outcomes, staff morale, and reduced discipline. Chattanooga Chattanooga County School District began the 26-27 school year on July 24th. Students returning to Tuesday through Friday schedule. So they take Monday off, not Friday. The district has adopted the 4-day instructional week in 2010 as a cost-saving measure and has largely maintained the model ever since. Superintendent Michelle Healy, Helie, it's from blackenterprise.com, said the district has experienced stronger academic performance, improved employee morale, fewer disciplinary incidents under the schedule. And although Chattanooga County temporarily returned to a traditional 5-day week 2 years ago, district officials ultimately reinstated the calendar after evaluating the results. Healy said the additional day away from the classroom provides practical benefits for students and families, particularly balancing medical appointments and work-based learning opportunities. For us, having that Monday allows our students time to go to doctor's appointments. We have students who also work. That's a part of our work-based learning program at the high school, and it gives them an extra day to get that in. Schedule also lengthens the instructional day. Now, don't forget this. Now, your day is longer, giving teachers additional classroom time while providing a 3-day weekend for rest and preparation. She said you get to recover on the weekends. You get a 3-day weekend, and then the teachers have extra instructional time during the school day because we have a longer day. It also gives them more time per class period to do things in the classroom. So actually, you can extend your class time period, if that makes sense. What are your thoughts? Throw them in the YouTube chat. And WISN, I think, might be making a big deal out of nothing.
Number 4.
Did y'all hear Tony Romo got arrested in Milwaukee? Interesting. So this from WISN 12. A search warrant obtained by 12 News shows former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo had bloodshot eyes and glassy eyes. When Milwaukee County deputies pulled him over last week on I-43 in Milwaukee. Search warrant said Romo's vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed, passing other vehicles during heavy rush hour traffic in the Milwaukee interchange. While speaking with Romo, I detected a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from his breath. And the search warrant, he's coming off a golf course and heading to meet his parents. And he told the deputy he didn't have anything to drink. And then they stepped him out the car, did the field sobriety and all that. At first, he refused to step out the car. He said he placed his phone on the rear of his vehicle to record the stop. He performed poorly on standard field sobriety, refused a breathalyzer, which is illegal. Well, not illegal, but yeah, it's illegal in Wisconsin. His first offense OWI, not a criminal charge. He gets a ticket between $150 and $300. Arrest doesn't indicate any blood alcohol or breathalyzer testing. I don't know if you know, Tony Romo grew up in Burlington, graduated from Burlington High School. He was the first Burlington High School student athlete to be named to All-State in 3 sports: football, basketball, and golf. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler and is part of CBS's lead NFL broadcast team. Hopefully, he'll continue. Court date is September 21st, although his appearance isn't mandatory. So my question is, are we making a big deal out of nothing? You know how many people get stopped for OWI? Like, do you know? I don't know. But a lot of people get stopped for OWI. I really believe that we do. And so it looks like I froze, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep moving on. I don't know why I froze. Why did I freeze? So anyway, let me do that. Interesting. Okay. So I guess now I'm frozen. I'm waiting on my My internet's going crazy. So I'm waiting on it to load. Interesting. I guess we'll keep going. Or we'll have to end early. Guess we won't finish top 5. I do have, somebody put in the chat, I have fiber. So, you know. It's been bad the last few days. Yep. So somebody said it'll be like radio so they can still hear us. So you can still hear me. Let me know whether or not you can still hear me. If you can still hear me, let me know. Let me know whether or not you can still hear me, and I'll keep going. So I'm just going to ask, can you hear me? Put it in the YouTube chat whether or not you can hear me. And, oh, good. You can hear me. All right. So I'll keep going. Interesting. Another of what police call, well, we call it, they call it pet struck.
Number 3.
And so none of my numbers work. So this is number 3. Weird enough, from WISN 12, a 73-year-old pedestrian was struck and killed in Milwaukee on last night in Milwaukee's historic Mitchell Street neighborhood. Police said the crash happened around 11:35 last night on 11th and Mitchell. Investigators said the vehicle was traveling west on Mitchell Street when the driver struck the pedestrian who was in the street. Pedestrian suffered fatal injuries, pronounced dead at the scene, and the driver remained there and is cooperating. So my question is, the average age of people, it's kind of weird. Like, older people are getting hit by cars. So we need to just stop going into the street. Like, I don't know how else to do that. Stop going into the street. Stop walking across the street. You're walking across the street at night at 11:35. Should you have been out? Now that's me victim shaming and victim what's the word I'm looking for? Blaming. Victim blaming, victim shaming. Still, what are you doing out so late? Stay in the house and drive. Well, I don't know. Driving is not safe. And now I guess walking across the street isn't safe either. But then again, who knows? Do you know what's coming on tonight? The Democratic governor's debate is on and cracking.
Number 2.
So from JS Online, the debate is coming tonight. And if you're among nearly 50% of voters who haven't decided which governor candidate to support August 11th as a Democrat, you're going to hear him tonight. Tomorrow night, July 28th, WISN TV will host the first and only televised debate between 5 candidates still in the race: Francesca Hung, Mandela Barnes, David Crowley, Joel Brennan, and Kelda Roys. Candidates have attended plenty of community forums, but this debate, hosted by WISN TV, is the first that will be televised to a statewide audience, and the debate takes place the same day early in-person absentee voting begins. So, are you going to watch it? Who knows? Sir Chan said, "Oh my, you're Dr. Ken Harris. Thanks for reminding us on air, as many of us have the propensity to slip off due to Alzheimer's and being presumptively classified as baby boomers because we too get out of here." What? Stop. It's the reckless drivers. Of course it's the reckless drivers too. But and I guess you're referencing my 73-year-old that was killed. That's very unfortunate for them and unfortunate for the family. But the flip side is, because I got to look at it from all points of view, at some point, I'm not going to be out at 11:35 at night at age 73 unless I'm with somebody or somebody's taking me just because you know, y'all be cray-cray in Milwaukee. Y'all do some strange stuff in Milwaukee, like hit people with cars, but y'all do that during the day too. But in the end, in the end, I think it's important that we do that. Now, getting back to this debate, who's going to watch the debate? Anybody? Because it's tonight. It's tonight. Tonight. You got to watch the debate. You got to watch party going? Anybody got to watch party going? I don't know. Oh, well. And it's time for a Madison officer-involved shooting update.
Number 1.
This from Fox6now.com. It's another instance of victim blaming, victim shaming, but it's part of the story. There's a story on WISN.com. I'm sorry, on Fox6now.com by Brian Polcyn, Polcyn, from Fox 6 investigators. The basis of the story is that public records show Corey Ruiz, who was a victim in Madison, had been convicted 8 times of resisting, obstructing, threatening, or injuring police officers between 2007 and 2024. 5 of those prior cases involved City of Madison police officers. Ruiz's family, B. Ivory Lamar from here in Milwaukee, says past cases do not answer the central question of whether deadly police shooting was justified. He is absolutely true. In that, he is absolutely true. Wisconsin Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation reviews the evidence in the fatal shooting of 38-year-old Corey Ruiz by Madison police last week. Public records shed light on the degree to which Ruiz had previously interacted with the city of Madison police, not to mention other police departments in Dane County. Now, more than 24 criminal complaints dating back 20 years show not only that Ruiz had a violent criminal history, but that he had repeatedly engaged in physical struggles with the police. And over the course of 2 decades, Ruiz was charged 9 separate times, convicted 8 times, and others involved the town of Madison, Sun Prairie, Fitchburg, and Capitol Police. So why are we talking about this? I think it's important that we understand that sometimes, and I talked about it before, sometimes we contribute to things that happen to us. Is that the way it's supposed to be? I was going to use the word fair, but I don't know if that's accurate. Is that the way that it should be? No. Is that the way that life should be? Absolutely not. But in the end, we have to be responsible for our actions. We have to look at ourselves and we have to be responsible for what we do. And if we're honest, we have to be prepared for the consequences. And unfortunately, for the family, for Mr. Ruiz, the police took his life. And so they don't have video cameras. They don't carry body cameras. They've got video. Remember, the video is 2-dimensional. There's no sound. Some of it probably has. I haven't seen any of the video. I haven't watched the shooting. I haven't seen any of it. Let the professionals do their job, and then let some independent people come in and take a look at it as well. And hopefully we'll find out whether or not it's justified. Again, it's just a sad instance, any way you look at it. Curly Q said, definitely not watching. I'm on the YouTube chat. Definitely not watching. And C said, I'm watching the debate. Babar said, I'll be watching the debate. Jasmine Jazz West said, I'm watching tonight. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real said, they give no right of way to pedestrians anymore. Regarding the story in my top 5 before 5, was the person in the crosswalk or were they in the street? And that's the information we need to know. Was the person in the crosswalk or was the person in the street? If they were in the crosswalk and they got hit, it's on the driver. If they're just randomly in the street or they walked out from behind a car and got hit, that might be on the pedestrian. Even though insurance and law says when you're driving a car, you're 1% culpable regardless of who's at fault. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Sherwin has a watch party. Where's it at? Is it going to be online? Where's his watch party? Todd said the cops knew that, so we're at a way higher state of alertness. Very sad. Yeah. But I've seen cops on their phone, on their MDC, the mobile terminal in their car, all sorts of things. There's a lot of danger driving a car. You're driving a between 2,000 and 5,000 pound vehicle. We're not going to talk about trucks like SRRR drives. Those scare me beyond belief, and I don't know who's behind the wheel. I stay away from them. I stay away. But at some point, we have to remember that if you're driving a car, you have to pay attention and you have to be alert at what's going on. You really do. And hats off to the driver who stayed on the scene, and the police are investigating. He says it's on YouTube at 7:00. Okay. Well, I might dive on and watch the debate. I might jump into the YouTube chat and harass. SC said, I'll watch while listening to Sherwin on YouTube. Okay. Is he going to talk about it, or is he going to air it on YouTube and talk as it goes? I don't know. I'll jump on and harass him and see what's going on. Okay?
Quiet.
I'm just saying. So, hey, I want to say thanks to everybody that joined me this evening. Appreciate you. This one is for Todd. Pick your head. So that's for you, Todd, just so you know. Want to say thank you. And let me double check the poll, because y'all always scream at me, you forgot the poll. So we're going to end the poll, and let's see what the final results are. What causes you to end a friendship? 47% said trust, 20% said disrespect, 20% said values, and 13% said effort. I guess y'all a little more giving to people who don't make effort. You'll just kind of hang out. So, all right. Well, thank you for that, Elle Dawson. She said, great show. And that's because I have a great audience. Want to thank you. Want to remind you to repost, send it out to everybody. Let your friends know we're here every Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Dr. Ken's Truth. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. You can support us, Dr. Ken Swag, Printify.me. Bless. Take care. If you have any emails you want to send me, you can always send them to drkenstruth@gmail.com. Yes, Todd. Got you again. Bless. Take care. I'm out.